Everything is broke in the world of Marvel Contest of Champions. No surprises there. And by that, I mean welcome to the Marvel Contest of Champions news show for Friday. What's going on in the world of Marvel Contest of Champions? Well, apparently there's an Aegon bug. So player Jay Henny says, I'm in 9.1.3. Go to throw. Aegon's Purified Tenacity hasn't triggered since, had 300 combo, and there's no Purified trigger at all, unless I'm missing something. There's also no node that says that attackers can't purify debuffs. Showcasing the nodes right here, and it is a stark reminder how annoying MCOC has become with the extensive amount of nodes that are on everything. I mean, it gets worse in Act 9.2, and I think it'll probably be the same situation with 9.3 when it launches. I'd assume next month, especially with all those leaks being associated with things. Anyway, this looks like it's being passed on to the game team, or has already. Kabam Pinwell says, I'll take a look and pass it along. Sorry, I can't tell. It's been a bit of a busy day. So, yeah. But also it could go it could expand. There's also other bugs, which we'll talk about in a minute, that just seems to be problematic. But I think Gilly is bug 2, Death of Skilly is bug 2. She will not heal for 20 hits when I do one bonkers heal. So, bit of inconsistencies, some good news, some bad news around certain champions. Yep, champions be weird, man. So quickly on to seeding. If you've come back into this new season, you might have noticed that with how the seeding was last month and the previous month, it was kind of scuffed. If you're finding you're in Gladiator Circuit and going back into, say, Vibranium, then that was an advantage to yourself, and was a limited time element that Kabam just allowed to kind of just pass itself. So if you're finding this season, I'm that included, I came back into Diamond 5, then yes, you were largely facing off against a load of like more difficult people, or people that you weren't thinking that you were going to stomp on. It was like, it's just a little bit of competitive sphere. Although in the first 2-3 days, things change, and a lot more people are very much more active in the Battlegrounds fighting because of Summoners Fest and the objective. There's time sensitivity to it. So if you haven't done your objective now, then and won those 3 matches, then you're probably going to be scuppered for future realm events. We'll talk loosely about the realm event later on in the show, but from a perspective of seeding, if you came back and you were in Diamond, you should be in Diamond, as Kabam Crash has said. If you're currently in Diamond, that's the intended seeding. The issue was players were being seeded too high, not too low. So if you're looking to make some gains, if you're looking to make that kind of leg up to get your Radiance, then of course a lot of players were looking for that, and it's a bit more easier to do. But yeah, I don't know if anybody else kind of like feels that this is not a good thing, or you know, is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Would it help out more from the point of lower accounts not being stomped on? Maybe. I think sometimes with Kabam, try something once, see if it works. If it doesn't, then don't do it again. But this could be a good thing, but it could be a bad thing. And maybe they should think about road testing it out. Anyway, what are your thoughts on seeding? Should it improve, change? What are your thoughts? Put it in the comments. For those wondering about a side questing game at the moment and the missing Mysterium and the event of what is next is coming soon. The thing coming soon is going to be the Force Recruitment, this brand new game mode, which is a little bit of poker, a little bit of Balatro, if you are familiar with those particular, well, card game and video game, so to speak. So it will be out next week. I'm rushing to get as much done as possible. I'm halfway through my Valiant guide. I've then got to do the Alliance Wall Showcase guide, and it's like there's so much to do, and also Battlegrounds grinding in such a short space of time. And I've got to farm units for 9.2 100%ing to get 2 rank 4 7 stars, just like that. Now that's not always possible to do. There's a lot, as I said, a lot of stuff to do, very little time to do it, and I've also got plans this weekend, so that does kind of change and shift stuff. Anyway, on the subject, yes, on Mysterium, you're still getting the same amount of Mysterium. It's tuned to 3 weeks instead of 4. So starting next week, when this goes live, within some of the solo event, I think that's coming, that you'll have that Mysterium right there. And I think that's important because a lot of people did spend Mysterium If you've been following a lot of the content, I do advise you not to spend all your Mysterium, especially going to the latter points of the month. Why? Because then if you want to pick up things like research grants, then at least you've got some Mysterium left over in order to acquire those research grants that you need for later on in the year to, well, not later, but the next 2-3 months to get yourself a 7-star Mr. Fantastic if you are searching for it. And of course, the rank up gems, most importantly, maybe. So let's get back to the bugs. Like, we got a bigger section here focused on bugs. And Valiant event quest swaps not working. Radiance still bugged. Showcase was random degen champion, random degen damage. The Clash Showcase say requirements met, but won't let you enter. Not sure if there's a PI issue or intended. Apparently Incursions are bugged. If you didn't want to claim the Twitch drops until after the event started, you didn't get the points. That, I think the last one, I'm not sure if that necessarily applies. I think that's more about the live stream for MCOC kind of announcing what's happening the following month. I thought, and I still think, that this is going to be a live stream that if I can get this into shot with my calendar, I think the next Kabam live stream will be on the 25th, which might not actually seem like it's correct, but maybe Kabam are doing another live stream switch though, and it may be like the 30th because they did a 2nd of July, which is there. Maybe they're changing now to more midweek and it's like that's the new cadence. I don't know that to be 100%. I normally knew that it was going to be like Friday, like a Friday 1st of August, but maybe it's going to be the 30th and they're going to do it like that because, as we said, it's like the 2nd for, you know, the last live stream. So it could be the 30th and it could be like that. It may not be. We just need to get that clarification from Kabam. And Kabam aren't very good at clarification. Anyway, there's also a bug with Necropolis Nova, gaining 3 bars of power whenever he dashes. Not good. There's a lot of stuff really not right in the world of MCOC at the moment. And of course, very frustrating. Right side Alliance Wars Showcase rewards no Summoner Fest points. Again, that's interesting. You should definitely do a support ticket if that's an issue. And a Valiant event quest. Oh no, we've got to go back to that one. That's we'll kind of like sandwich that into bugs as well, because it could be bugs. So Kabam have clarified everything at the moment, and there's also something with Sasquatch and Rintra we've got to like bring into the picture. So champion swap nodes and Valiant event quests were showing the incorrect class. There was an incorrect amount of ISO selectors in quest rewards, leading to prolonged ISO selection process. Random degen is occurring in Alliance Wars Showcase against defenders that have degen present in their kit. Nova's power gain was out of control in Necropolis. Players were getting stuck at the hex screen on Incursion Zone 25. And the most important thing is Sasquatch Rintra in raids. And the team will be discussing compensation tomorrow. So that was compensation discussed that was very early UK time on Thursday. So that means it's probably, Thursday for discussion, Friday for delivery. So maybe today. That's again down to, we'll have to see if Kabam do that. There was a little something on Valiant event quest rewards not being correct. Still thinking to look into this a bit more. Can't believe after July 4th deals and giving Wales massive opportunity to beef up their rosters, they literally nerfed Valiant event quest rewards. Barely any Titan shards, barely 7-star shards. What the F happened? Is anybody seeing this? And yeah, I suppose it needs a comparison between the previous and here to kind of get an idea of what's going on. But Kabam Crash said, I believe the Valiant event quest rewards should be the same as last month. Did you look at the quest rewards or just the act rewards as well? Because a lot of them are kind of quest per quest that you actually pick up. But yeah, following on from like the coverage earlier and the confirmation for Kabam, they're saying it was not intended to give 240 ISO bricks per chapter. So yeah, that's that. So you're probably like a perpetual thing, kind of like constantly stuck. Yeah, not great. Not great with all the kind of like bugs and stuff, but yeah. Anyway, is what it is. We move on now to our final story. And it's still really this. Like, I have done now 3 videos on the Summoners Fest Realm event, and there'll be one more, which I've been trying to like wait and kind of post it on like the weekend. Like I'll probably post something on Sunday, like a video, because I'm trying to wait to get as much information as possible. Because that's the one biggest issue, is that we get a little bit of information, then things are expanded on. Oh no, but you get this as well, and then you have to go, well, how? But it's not being fully explained by Kabam. How? And this leaves us with the situation of how many points in the various areas are we able to get, and other progressions are able to get as well, or not at all? Or is this a spender's extra bit to grab that's going to get them all of the amount of points? The reason I mention it like that in the most simplistic way possible is after I post a video, some more information comes to light. And as we said in the last time I posted, there was a confirmation that 300,000 total earnable points can reach the top milestone even if you miss a few. But again, specifics are important. I do think that a lot of the event-based points are going to come next month as opposed to this month. I think there must be still something that Kabam are going to be launching towards the end of the month, probably with those Doombot things. But I think a lot of the stuff is going to come in with objectives next month. The reason I think that is just like down to the information that has not been provided. So it's likely to be provided next month when the update goes live and you go, oh, right, new update, realm event points change. The biggest thing that I just don't think that is really cool is this. Kabam have added into the bonus section of the deals on the web store with extra points for the Summoners Fest realm event. I don't particularly like that. It's not like groundbreaking. Like I think when I totaled it up, it was going to be something like 2,000, like 1,500 to 2,000 points for Summoners Fest. So it's not going to absolutely steer people up the ladder, so to speak. But it could be that little extra that kind of like takes you there further. I just think with not a lot of clarity around things, adding this in causes a little bit of confusion and it just doesn't help out matters at all. I'm going to be working in a broader spread of what people that are Thronebreaker and thrown around about the Thronebreaker kind of area are able to get. And I think a lot of players have a lot of questions on what they can actually pick up on a Summoners Fest realm event basis. But there's still going to be stuff that's unknown. And those are things that we'll find out next month. How much the objectives are going to be there. How much then I can calculate you can get. Like, oh, there's 5 times 5,000 points objectives. At the moment, we just know we're getting some objectives next month. Nothing's clear. So hopefully we can get a little bit of clarity and we'll sort that out next month, hopefully. Anyway, that's been the show for today. Have a lovely Friday. Have a lovely weekend. And I'll see you on the MCN for Monday. But there will be some other videos, other guides, and other fun things I'll be going over between now and the start of next week. Have a lovely weekend. See you soon. Bye-bye.